is actually interesting because technocracy is kind of a step up from meritocracy. A technocracy means that the government or the state should not be run by politicians or popular leaders. The government should be run by experts, scientists, engineers, and other highly skilled people in the technical arts and fields. That's the basis of a technocracy. But another component of technocracy is it is a government run by numbers, meaning that compassion and human feeling, like housing people, feeding the hungry, protecting the children and the vulnerable, and securing justice for indigenous people, or dealing with historical injustices against minorities, none of that is a factor in a technocracy. You preserve the state and advance the state against all. So it's it's basically a government run by a computer program. It's basically technocrats get into power and say what is most efficient. It ain't about, well, you do this efficiency and the government efficiency, and how do you run a government to get the greatest outcome for the lowest input. But humans don't operate that way. So a lot of people, even leftists or progressive people, like, yeah, we should let the scientists govern and let the experts, and imagine a government of scientists, engineers, physicians. And
that's how people say let the smart people run it. Like
right,
that's kind of like when you get stranded somewhere.
With technocrats, they're not intelligent. There's a difference between education and training.
So you saying, all right, let's take a ship of 100 people, right? And we're out at sea, and then something happens to the ship, and we're stranded on this small island.
Yes.
All right. We come to find out we never leaving this place. All right. So do we put somebody in charge, or do we take these smart people in and make them do their thing?
Well, here's the
they
thing.
Can help us, right?
Governing a society is different than building a suspension bridge. You know what I'm saying? And the problem with a technician or a technocrat, there's a difference.
That's like the person that knows
a technician and a technologist.
That's like taking the person that knows how to build the bridge and calling him our ruler. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what a technocracy does. Well, this person really knows computers. He's really efficient, or he's really good at numbers, mathematician. And we let a mathematician run the government. And then the mathematician can come to you and say, hey, Rip, I've run this program, and it finds out that this government, because the solution to unemployment is to murder 17.6% of the population. And when people get too old to work, instead of putting them in nursing homes, if we slaughtered them and rendered them bread and fed it to the children. So you look at people as human resources, and you only value people according to how they contribute or the role they play in the economy.
Wow.
That's what a mathematician would say, right?
Wow.
And that's why even when I was in school to become an X-ray tech, we had to take medical ethics. And that's why STEM never works. You need philosophy. You need the humanities. You need to understand history. I'm going to build this suspension bridge. I'm an engineer and I can build this suspension bridge. What are the environmental impacts? What are the ecological impacts? What are the sociological impacts of building these bridges and connecting these two parts of land that were once separate?
Right.
So yeah, this technocracy thing is, like I said, a lot of people fall into that, but that is not sufficient. It makes your society inhumane. You know, you can look at a cow and be like, this cow is a unit of beef. It's not a whole and living creature. Or you can look at a person and say, listen, you know, people are human resources, and a human being can do a full day's work. Why are we flavoring and seasoning food? If we just make these nutrient blocks that have no flavor, you eat that, and you eat that nutrient block, and it allows you to do a full day's labor. Why do you need the theater? Why do you need the arts?
Right.
So yeah, so the technocracy it's like libertarianism. It's a false, sick system that really twisted people believe in and try to push. So yeah, I don't support the technocracy, even though I have great respect for scientists and engineers and builders and technological and thinking and action.
You will have to, though, if you're anti-religion, then you will have to go scientifically.
Yeah, I fully support science, but there's no reason for science to be inhumane. I fully embrace the scientific method, and I fully embrace
scientific. When you coming from a scientific standpoint, though, they understand human nature. They understand like nature, period. So yeah, human nature, bro. That's
the best thing about science is that it's not absolutist.
What?
Science does not say we have all the answers and we know everything, and we even know the unknown. Science is willing to take the position that say, hey, these things are unknown, and until we know, we don't know. Religion say we know how the world was created. We know how the world was going to end. We know what happens after you die, and they have no evidence. They have no support. There's no method for which you can discern the truth within religion. You believe it or we cut your tongue out. Have faith or you will burn. And you will burn after you die, or when religion really takes power, you can burn while you're alive at the stake. Religion has no legitimacy. It is pure delusion, manipulation, intimidation, and falsehood. So I'd rather because I'm evidence-based. I do have beliefs. I believe KRS-One, Wise Intelligent, most deaf are great rappers. But I'm not going to say, well, if you don't believe that, you're less than human, you're sinful, you're evil if you don't believe that. That's a belief, that's an opinion. So but I don't think that any laws or standards or rules are like, because I believe that I got to wear a BDP bomber vest every day. You know, I don't believe that any type of imposition can be made on other people based on what I believe or my faith. Based on science, we can put impositions on others. Or even I will give you, say, okay, you don't have the scientific reasoning. I need a reasonable argument. I need at least a fact-based, reasoned argument that can be dissected and critiqued and reviewed. Religion gives you none of that.
Yeah, you ain't gonna find that nowhere.
Huh?
Yeah, you ain't gonna find that nowhere in there.
Not in religion.
No, I know. So,
but like I said, religion without human ethics, without the understandings of the humanities, valuing cultures, valuing philosophies, valuing arts and creativity and expression, I think all of those things work in conjunction with science.
When you say, actually, it's like when you say religion, and you say religion, like I do have a religion, but my religion is nothing like Christianity, Muslim, or any of these mainstreams that you see going on out here and all this.
You didn't went off and joined the cult on me.
I actually haven't.
I can't drink Kool-Aid when I come to your house. Don't even, when I come to your house, Rip, I'm gonna bring